Take a moment and think about this. Have you ever experienced a coincidence so uncanny, so perfectly timed, it gave you chills? You might have been struggling with a major life decision, and then, completely out of the blue, a stranger started talking about a book that held the exact answer you needed. Or perhaps you'd been thinking intensely about an old friend, and the next day their name appeared in an unrelated news article. You might have dismissed it as luck, chance, or a brain quirk. But what if those random moments are actually something far more profound? What if they are universal clues, a hidden language, actively guiding you towards your greatest successes and your deepest fulfillment? In this deep dive, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked concepts in human psychology and spirituality: synchronicity. We're talking about the science and the art of seeing meaningful connection in a seemingly disconnected world. We'll unveil the hidden language of synchronicity, show you practical methods for recognizing and interpreting these powerful signs, and, most importantly, demonstrate exactly how to decode these universal clues to fundamentally transform your life and achieve your most ambitious goals. This isn't just about spotting coincidences, it's about mastering the subtle flow of the universe. Get ready to awaken your intuition, sharpen your perception, and start living a life where the universe is your most powerful ally. To truly harness this power, we must first understand its definition. The term synchronicity was famously coined by the renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. Jung wasn't satisfied with simply labeling powerful coincidences as just that. He saw a deeper order at play. Jung defined synchronicity as the meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something happens simultaneously in the outer world and the inner world of the psyche. Crucially, these events are not causally related. One did not cause the other, but they are profoundly and immediately connected by meaning. It is like a bell ringing inside your soul, just as a matching event unfolds outside of you. Imagine you've been working on a complex business plan, feeling blocked, and simultaneously, your eyes happen to catch a billboard with a visually perfect metaphorical solution to your problem. The billboard didn't cause your block to clear, but it arrived at the exact moment of your need, and the two events resonate with a shared, powerful significance. Jung believed that synchronistic events point toward an underlying unity of the cosmos where mind and matter are not separate, but are two aspects of the same fundamental reality. Your deepest needs, thoughts, and intentions are constantly broadcasting, and synchronicity is the universe's coherent, meaningful reply. It's vital to distinguish between a simple coincidence and a synchronistic event. A coincidence is a statistical anomaly, a random event with no inherent personal message. If I run into my neighbor at an airport on the other side of the world, that's just improbable luck. Synchronicity, however, is a message. If I am facing a crisis of faith and I run into a childhood friend I haven't seen in 2 decades, who just happens to be a monk, and they spontaneously offer a piece of advice that unlocks my inner struggle, that's synchronicity. The meaning is the key differentiator. We must train ourselves to move from a purely materialistic worldview, which only sees cause and effect, to a more holistic, meaning-centric worldview, where internal state and external reality mirror each other. Now let's connect this phenomenon directly to the pursuit of success. Synchronicity isn't just metaphysical window dressing. It's deeply rooted in the psychology of focus, intention, and perception, all fundamental drivers of achievement. When you set a clear, focused intention, a specific goal, a desired emotional state, or a solution to a problem, you activate a powerful filtering mechanism in your brain called the Reticular Activating System, RAS. The RAS is essentially your brain's sophisticated spam filter. When your intention is strong, the RAS begins to highlight and prioritize anything in your environment that is relevant to that goal. If you decide to buy a red car, suddenly you see red cars everywhere. If you are seeking funding for a startup, suddenly every podcast article or overheard conversation seems to feature venture capital. Synchronicity often emerges from this activated state. It's the universe, or perhaps your subconscious mind, strategically using the RAS to deliver the right clue at the right time. This is why clarity of purpose is the single most important factor in attracting meaningful coincidences. The clearer your target, the stronger your signal, and the more resonant the universe's reply. Success requires action. Synchronicity often appears when you're already moving forward, affirming that you're on the correct path. Think of it as universal validation. Let's say you're taking a risk by changing careers. You feel fear, but you apply for the job anyway. Just after you hit send on your application, you receive a completely unsolicited email from a mentor, praising your courage and mentioning a book that perfectly details the industry you're trying to enter. This synchronistic event doesn't do the work for you, but it acts as a massive morale booster and an implicit confirmation. Keep going. You are aligned. Learning to interpret these moments of validation fuels your courage, reinforces your confidence, and allows you to take bigger, bolder, and more aligned actions, the very actions that lead to exponential success. Now for the core practical strategies. Synchronicity isn't a passive phenomenon. It's an active skill you can develop. Here's how you can sharpen your perception and start using these clues to drive success. You can't see the clues if you're constantly rushing, distracted, and mentally cluttered. Active receptivity is the practice of being mentally calm enough to notice the subtle signals while simultaneously being engaged enough to act on them. Integrate mindfulness and meditation into your daily routine. Just 10 minutes a day can dramatically lower the noise floor of your mind, making the subtle clicks of synchronicity much easier to hear. A quiet mind is a powerful receiver. Furthermore, keep a synchronicity journal. When a meaningful coincidence occurs, no matter how small, write down 3 things. Your internal state, what were you intensely focused on just before the event? The external event, what happened? And the immediate meaning, what answer or direction did the event offer? This practice trains your brain to recognize patterns of meaning. Synchronicity loves a clear target. If you are generally wishing for success, the universe's reply will be vague. If you ask a specific, high-stakes question, the reply is often precise. Before a major decision, frame a concise, open-ended question that expresses the dilemma. For example, what is the highest leverage first step I can take on this new business venture? State the question, meditate on it briefly, and then release it. Let go of the need to control the answer. Look for repetition. The universe rarely sends a single faint signal. If a specific word, phrase, animal, or number sequence like 1111 or 2222 shows up 3 or more times in a short period after you've asked your question, it is a flashing neon sign. A clue is worthless until it's acted upon. This is the difference between a philosophical observer and a successful achiever. If a synchronistic event points you toward a person, a book, or an opportunity, take the intuitive leap. The successful person trusts the meaning and acts on it quickly, before the rational, fearful mind can shut it down. The synchronistic clue may not look like the logical next step. It might seem strange or small, but you must explore the clue without judgment of its apparent form. The next door principle is crucial. Synchronicity doesn't usually reveal the entire path. It only opens the next door. Your job is to walk through that door. The success comes from the compounding effect of following one clue after another, thereby maintaining constant flow and alignment. To solidify these methods, let's look at how synchronicity manifests in real-world success. Imagine a software engineer, Sarah, who felt profoundly unfulfilled. She wanted to transition into sustainable agriculture but felt trapped. She asked the universe, how can I ethically leave my current high-paying job for a field I am passionate about? The next day, her train was delayed. While scrolling through a random social media feed, she saw a post from a third-tier connection launching an ag-tech startup. She initially planned to scroll past, but the memory of her question made her pause. She messaged the connection, and that spontaneous conversation revealed the startup was looking for someone with both software expertise and a passion for agriculture, a role that hadn't even been advertised yet. The delayed train, the random post, the old connection, none of these caused the opportunity, but their meaningful convergence created the path for her success. A writer, Ben, was stuck on a crucial plot point for his novel. He needed a specific, archaic piece of information to make his historical narrative work, but he couldn't find it. He framed the question, what is the missing key to unlock this plot? He decided to take a break and go for a walk. As he passed a local garage sale, a place he never usually stopped, he noticed an old, dust-covered book tucked under a box of tools. Driven by an unexplained impulse, he picked it up. It was a centuries-old, obscure regional almanac. When he flipped it open, the very first page he saw contained the exact, unique piece of historical data he needed, complete with the specific names and dates that would unlock his entire third act. This is the external world, perfectly mirroring an internal creative necessity. Synchronicity is not magic. It is a fundamental feature of a reality where consciousness and matter are intimately connected. It is the language of alignment. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned with your true purpose, the universe stops being a random sequence of events and becomes a magnificent, personalized guidance system. The pursuit of success is often presented as a brutal, linear climb, but the path of synchronicity shows us that success is often found by being present, paying attention, and trusting the meaning inherent in the moments of our lives. The universal clues are all around you. Your homework, your challenge from BeTheNow, is to be radically present for the next 48 hours. Ask the universe one clear, focused question related to your success, and then simply watch. Note the repetitions, the meaningful encounters, and the uncanny connections. Then act on the first clue you receive. Thank you for diving deep with us. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content on unlocking your potential, and tell us in the comments, what was the most profound synchronistic event that guided your life? Share your story, inspire the community, and let's keep this conversation flowing. Until next time, be present, be powerful, and most importantly, be the now.